So, are you wanting to intro, Leo?
I can give it a shot.
Okay. Last time it didn't go so well.
Well, we'll see.
It's the redemption.
Yeah.
Redemption arc, here we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Draw Your Sword, an actual play D&D podcast played by comic artists and writers. Yep, that's as far as I can remember.
That was good.
That's it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Almost.
Is there not more?
A little bit more.
Then you
This
introduce
time
yourself.
we're joined by Sandy.
Hello, everyone.
You sound
I'm
so
Sandy.
angry. This time.
This time.
I feel like you said that so tired, like, yes, I'm Sandy.
Sound like my mum.
I'm Sandy, the Dungeon Master.
I'm Harry, and I play Emlyn, the Halfling Rogue.
I'm Holly, and I play Veda, the Fire Genasi Bard.
I'm Lily, currently going by Leo, and I play Fig, the Furball Druid. And last game wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Ha!
That was good.
Thank you!
Because
I
there
was
were
like,
sheep
this is
in the last
yeah.
episode.
I was like,
Fucking
this one's
nailing
not
it.
great, because I thought of it just before we started.
Mhm.
I was like, I
Alexei's
can
more
make this a
effective than
sheep
some of the other
pun.
ones.
Oi.
So, last time, everyone was able to escape the city. We played out a memory from Veda's past, in which Veda saw her father crying at a fireplace and had to deal with the decisions that he made in his past, him being a old general in the war. And it wasn't the dreams that could hurt him like Veda as a child can only deal with. It's not a nightmare, it's the realities of the decisions you make. And from the decisions that Veda has just made to take a captain of the guard's life in favor of potentially starting something of a revolution. This was the scene that played out at this beginning. Running back to Roten, everyone quickly packed up all their stuffs. You said goodbye to Lomgir, Vrundar, Zara, Mr. Red, Hymir Redfern, Kuki, who were all heading south towards the Gnarlsfell Pass. Vrundar, the big giant of a man, was going to head to Nuveria and tell his people what had happened with the betrayal at Zundaria. Heading to Niflheim as quickly as possible, you were about to camp out at the side of the road where a strange ghostly figure whispered to you. Fig, I think, was the one who saw it, saying that this whole world is crying, basically. The woods are upset, the cities are sad, the overlapping plains are in turmoil, but you could seek shelter in a town of Wickmore, just up an old logging trail. And for some reason, the spirit realm looks kindly upon you. He ran off into the woods again, Fig taking this as a good sign that there might be a place to stay. You headed up the old log path and headed to the tiny town of Wickmore, where you met a dwarven fellow who welcomed you inside, took you to the innkeeper, where you met Daffodil, who likes to be called Granny. As you headed inside, very suspicious of potentially just my DMing in the past, but it turned out to be a lovely town. Emlyn, surrounded by books, was overwhelmed by the choice, but when they wanted to buy said book, Granny just let you take it, which was not to Emlyn's pleasure, I would say. They were very distressed by this.
Distressed in character, you know?
Yeah.
I just love that we spent basically the whole session being convinced that something horrible was going to happen, but actually it was just you making us feel bad.
Yes. And in the end, you helped out the town, fixed some small problems, went out hunting for your payment for staying in the inn. You then had this nice meal with everyone, and again, I made you feel bad by saying this might be the last time we have a nice little time like this.
You love making us feel bad.
I mean, that's D&D.
That's the game.
It says, as soon as you open the Dungeon Master book, it says you have to make them feel bad. Actions have consequences.
That's like the number one aim, yeah.
Yeah.
So, at the moment, on a broader plot scale, we're on our way to Niflheim to see the Obsidian Prince.
Yes.
And maybe I just wanted to do a little recap for, just in case we might have forgotten some of the details about the Obsidian Prince. I've like Control F'd my notes, but I have, so way back at the beginning, we had a letter, I got a letter from the Obsidian Prince, but it turned out not to be from him.
Yes.
Maybe?
It was Alexander, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Vader's still got his like waxen seal that we found in Alexander's room in like the fucking second episode or something.
Okay.
You should write letters to DYS as Alexander. Like, I love you.
He opens it and he's like, I'm sitting right next to you. We've been
So
married
I
for
feel
10 years.
I always want to call DYS, DYS. What was that kind of potato French meal?
Dauphinois.
Dauphinois, yeah.
He's potatoes and cream and onion.
Yeah, delicious.
No, I'm just thinking about potatoes. I was really trying to be okay. So we got like lore from the library heist about the Obsidian Prince, which is just like general like myths about him, and I actually have like proper notes on that, which is like a powerful demigod, comes and goes from the world, used to rule the world.
Yeah.
Rode on dragons. Like some of the accounts make it sound like he's a tyrant and super powerful, and some like a savior and super good. So we don't know if this person like is this person or is pretending to be or what, but I'm just like was trying to remember like what made us like way back at the beginning.
So you originally were going after Alexander after he blew up the DYS, so he blew up that. You very confused went after Alexander, and you were warned by the lovely people in the Golden Grain Tavern that he's not to be trusted and have worked with him before, and they called him the Prince because he'll never be king.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
That was
Nice,
a good
I
line.
remember that.
Yeah.
Great line.
But later on you found out from Alexander that he doesn't want to be a king. He wants to change the world, and that he's a crazy powerful person and could do what he suggested in that letter for you, Emlyn.
Okay.
But
So
he did that to persuade you to steal those things for him. The wand of fireballs from which you blew up.
right, but is Alexander and
DYS.
are they like actually working for the Obsidian Prince?
From what you can tell, yes. They're the ones
Yeah,
who brought down the meteor and had knowledge of
Yes.
ancient creation magic gems.
Yes. Okay. Cool. It's just that the actual original letter wasn't actually
Yes.
specifically. Yeah.
It was
Okay.
it was a ploy to betray you.
So
It worked.
Yeah. And so like we've just like been told to like go there in case there's like something powerful that could help, because obviously we want to maybe overthrow what's going on. We want to like change things, so we just want to go and see if they're evil or not evil.
Hey guys, are you evil?
You know what I mean?
After hearing Alexander's backstory, Veda sympathized with it.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Or saw the justification, I guess.
Yeah.
What was Alexander's?
Yeah, I can't remember either.
The DYS like
I'm
murdered
so
his
sorry, my
family or
notes-
something.
Oh yeah.
He got accused. His family got accused of betraying the Empire, speaking against the Empire, and the DYS, the ones who accused them, they all got hanged except from Alexander.
So it was revenge.
It was
Got
revenge.
it. I just feel like I've all of my notes are about like the wrong thing. They're about like a fun character that we met and not like the main plot, because I didn't know what was the main plot. Okay,
And then
that's really helpful. Thank you.
you were aiming to meet DYS in the Hammer's Touch in Niflheim.
We were making our way there now.
Just taking our time, taking our sweet time.
Big roundabout.
Been there for so long.
Yeah.
It's been like a month or something.
Yeah. We had other stuff to do.
It's true.
They'd have had to smooch Malara a whole bunch.
That was a pretty important part of the plot.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of notes
it
about
was.
that, so
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the moment we're still in the...
Yeah.
We're in the inn,
So,
full of books.
We'll start our scene with the evening of your nice meals and having everyone around you, having a great time. Everyone's died down a little bit. People have gone off to bed.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's
died
died.
down.
Thought that
It
was
was a
it. Everyone's
nightmare.
died. What?
It was the salmon moose.
God.
Everything's died down. Everyone's gone off to their homesteads. Agatha sits by the fire, sharpening her swords.
Are we all still up and about?
Yeah.
Vader's gonna go sit with Agatha. Sit by the fire with a drink.
Do you chat with her, or are you just sitting in comfortable sword sharpening, ominous silence?
Looking both vaguely threatening.
I think she'll be sitting quietly for a bit anyway. She's thinking.
Yeah. Agatha just stares into the fire, sharpening her blade. Looks up at you and says, "Is there something in your mind?"
I'm just thinking about where we're going, what we've started. It's quite a lot to process.
Well, of course it is. You may have endangered thousands of lives. It's a lot of things to weigh up on. But regardless of you starting this was going to happen. One way or another.
I know. It's just, it's difficult to be an instigator. I know a lot of people are going to die, and a lot of them will be bystanders. But I don't think there's a way to avoid it. There's no such thing as a bloodless revolution, and their blood will stay on my hands.
All you can do is live for them. I have seen my fair share of warfare, in and out of the arena. I felt trapped in my oath, and regardless of why, I continued to do it where I could potentially have just left. Something inside me felt like I needed to continue. But I've been on the battlefield. I've dungeon delved. I've seen things that most will never see from their simple farmstead lives. But it's those people that we must protect, and this is the reason why we do the things we do. For other people to have simpler lives.
I know. I was born a few years after the war between Sisan and the Zundarian Empire ended, and it colored my life. And the same will happen once this is done, whatever happens. A lot of people will be affected even if they don't see war themselves. A lot more children will wake up in the future hearing parents crying because of what they've faced. More will be orphans like Malara.
Yes.
But what alternative is there? Leaving countless people to live under the heel of a tyrant. I don't think I could live with that either. Indifference is just a quieter form of violence.
She nods her head. This will be a different war. Between Zisan and Sundarian Empire, there was armies. This will not be the same. From what I can see, this will be a civil war. We need to find people who are sympathetic to our cause. And that is why I head to Niflheim. Why I seek the Obsidian Prince. I don't trust things I know about him and where he had came from, but he has connections, he knows things that most mortals do not. And through him, we can get places we would normally able to get. I have my own goals, my own things I want to receive, but I think he is the only option that we have. So we must tread carefully and potentially keep our enemies closer. We'll have to see when we meet him.
Yes. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Yes. This will be nothing but interesting. From my military know-how, this will be mostly political. The fights will be won in balls and courthouses and masquerade balls, more than weaponry.
That suits me.
But the final assault, I can see nothing but taking out the king and making an example of him. All the previous kings before him, the king's father and his father, they're all to blame. If we can cut off the head of the dragon, then hopefully his followers will go into obscurity, or maybe take the most faithful ones with them.
I think Veda's sitting.
Okay.
Sipping her drink, looking at the fire, just kind of nodding. Like,
yeah, I think the scene ends with her just sharpening the sword continuously.
Threatening.
I like the idea that you're having a really serious discussion and just like in the background there's now and again like a bit of a crash and then stealing books. They feel a bit more comfortable now. They're ready to steal books.
Ready to steal. Fig has gone outside.
Okay.
What time is it?
Probably 8 or 9ish.
So would you say it's the sun's going down or
It's gone.
it's gone? Okay. So is there a moon?
Yes.
Okay. Fig is just gonna go outside, not too far away from the pub, the inn, sorry, and sit on the floor and look at the moon. And I think as he sits, a little circle of mushrooms grows around him. But nothing specific that's causing it. It's just his presence on the floor is causing it.
Okay. What's he thinking about?
He's thinking about a lot of things. He's confused and a bit upset and a bit scared about what's happening and how he's just feels a bit like a fish out of water at the moment. He doesn't know where he sits in any of this, so he's just outside trying to connect with nature in some way that he can at the moment. And right now that's just sitting on grass and growing mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're just confused at everything that's been going on.
Yeah. He's just also wanting to just look at the moon, because sometimes things go so fast he doesn't have time to appreciate the skies changing.
And Emmeline's just stealing books. Why are you not having an existential crisis of war and nature?
Emily just like doesn't really have like a home to go back to or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they need money, and they're using the skills they have at the moment. They got a lot of debts to pay. I don't know. I think that maybe that like they're not really sure what they're doing on a bigger scale, but like that's just always been the case for them.
I feel like as Emmeline's travelled around, they've just gained more debt.
Listen, they've been paying off their debt. They've just gained new weird debts. So yeah, they're looking through for valuable
Weird
books.
debts.
Harder this time, and also I think they want to look for like a picture book to send home as well.
Okay,
Aw.
make an investigation check.
20,
Nice.
not nat, but 20 total.
You're really smart.
Really smart when it comes to finding valuable things. Sometimes.
Yeah, so you find a lot of good history books on regions. You find some books on Nuvaria that might serve good knowledge, different sultans that ruled over that area, different books on warfare, and you find a good couple of colouring books. That
Nice.
most of the pages are not coloured in.
Okay, cool. You know, they want to send the colouring books off with a letter and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just think for Emlyn it's like, it's all chaos already.
It's always been chaos.
I also think that they have a lot of faith in, like, maybe, like, Vader's convictions especially, so they're, like, ready to follow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Vader can do stuff, and you trust in Vader, so you don't have to worry about it.
Well, I just don't think they feel like they can see that there are things that want change, but they don't have the faith that they can make the right decisions to make them change in a good way, right? Often when they do things, everything is like an absolute catastrophe. Even when they're trying to do things that are like seem like very, very positive and very good, when they do stuff, it's actually like the fallout is often like so complicated that I think they've like learned to leave that to someone else, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like, again, if anything, they're like more sure of what they're doing now than a lot of, I mean, Emlyn really doesn't know what they're doing, so now they're like, yeah, we've got a purpose. Seems good.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So I think the time passes. Everyone eventually finds themselves to their rooms. Again, you're all sharing a room with dividers if you so wish them up. If there's any other scenes you'd like to play out, that would be the time. If not, we'll cut to the morning.
No, Fig just flops down into his bed. Doesn't really talk to anyone.
I want to bring Fig
Breaks
like a
the
tea.
Yeah, just.
Okay. So Emlyn brings
like
Fig a tea.
And like a biscuit, and then on second thoughts, they bring Fig like 10 biscuits.
Aww. Oh, thanks, Emlyn.
That's it. I don't think they have anything like particularly comforting to say, but they just want to be like, I'm here. Do you know what I mean?
I got snacks.
Yeah.
You just hear him crunching in the night. His bed is going to be so crummy in the morning.
Oh no.
He's just laying down chewing.
Well, that's not Emlyn's problem, so...
So, we wake in the morning relatively early with a good night rest. One that you probably haven't had in a long time. It's been a lot of late night raiding, heisting, all sorts of other things.
Fear.
Fear in general.
Niflheim's like a couple days travel away, right?
Yeah.
When she's sitting at the table having breakfast, Vid'll send a little note off to DYS, just saying that we'll be there in 2 days, hopefully. We're on our way.
It's like, about fucking time.
Yeah. So you send it to...
He's like, been in this inn for like a month.
I have such a bill. You guys are paying.
Yeah, just say that we're on our way and we'll be there in 2 days' time.
Sure.
As long as we don't get stuck.
Okay, so you write that off and you send it off to the Hammer's Touch. Or to him. Directly. Okay.
Does he reply?
He says, I'll be waiting.
Full stop.
Or in DYS' voice, I'll be waiting.
I want him to have like picked up some exciting new crafts in his wait. He's been like, we get there and there's like a really long scarf.
Yeah, he's
like,
gotten really good
the
knitting.
longest knitted scarf you've seen.
He's knitted blankets for every room in the inn.
That's quite nice. He's just head to toe in hats and scarves and
This is cute.
mittens,
I like
jumpers.
This. I like this headcanon. We don't need to go to Nilheim and find out the truth.
We've headcanoned this massive hobgoblin guy into like a soft knitting husband.
And that's D&D. The story tells itself.
Yeah.
So, as you adventure out in the day, you wave
Oh,
goodbye.
Before we leave
Yep.
Dandelion's house, is there like a
Daffodil.
vase? Daffodil? Is there like a vase or anything?
Yeah, there's plenty.
Fig will see an empty one and use his... What the heck does he use?
Druidcraft?
No. Well, Druidcraft with his quarterstaff.
Yeah.
And he makes some daffodils.
Daffodil says, "Oh, that's nice. I would normally see them until spring, so thank you."
He smiles at her. Thank you for your homeliness.
That's fine. Come back anytime.
Emlyn also says thank you. But again, they settled in, so they're also like eating a big sandwich, grabbing a book as they go. Thanks.
Just like their bag is just full of books, bulging.
Once you stay at Granny's house, I'm Granny to you always.
And that still sounds very sinister, but thank you very much.
She just smiles. And now your soul is mine.
My soul, Emlyn's soul is someone else's.
I'm taken,
Too
thank
late
you
for
very
that.
much. Amazing. I like some sort of like demonic entity trying to take Emily's soul, and you're like, no, someone's already got it. I already sold it.
Unfortunately, Emlyn's just trying to make another deal, and the demon on the other end is like, hold on.
The demon
What's
just
this
like
paperwork I just found?
it's just an IOU.
Yeah.
I owe you soul.
Yeah, it's like they're looking in like a safe for the soul, and they're just like, what's this? just dust and that one IOU, just written in scribbly handwriting.
And a book. Okay. So, since you gave your horses away to the refugees of Roten and Winstata, you'll be walking.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How far a stay is the walk, or is it on the main road?
You're off one of the larger roads. These are some of the more back roads that you're walking through right now, from where you walk from the Wickmore town. But you eventually get onto a main trading road.
Okay, while they're walking on the lesser treaded roads, Fig will turn into a little squirrel and sit on Veda. And hide in her hair.
Okay.
Emlyn has the hood up, but it's like very obviously still them.
Okay. So yeah, a couple of days of traveling. The weather actually picks up. Not as snowy as it was before. It's still pretty cold, however, but you do get some sunlight warming your skin. Couple of nights camping out in the woods.
One of the first nights, between watches, Fig will wake up Veda, Fig will wake up Veda for her watch, and just be like, "Can I talk to you for a second
Of course.
before I go back to bed?"
Yes.
Do you think I'm broken?
What do you mean?
Well, like, I just don't know what's going on at any time. And, well, it's not, well, I just don't understand what's happening, and this world is so difficult for me to understand. And I wonder if I made the wrong choice to come here.
Veda like scooch over closer to him and put an arm around him. Say, you You definitely made the right choice to leave where you were, because being kept somewhere by someone who manipulates you is never good. And I know it's difficult to get past something like that, but it takes a long time, and you shouldn't be too hard on yourself, because everything is new to you, and this is a lot for anyone, even people who have been here their whole lives. But if there's anything you don't understand or anything, you can always talk to me or Emlyn.
I know. But it's like I left, well, I was taken when I was a child. And now I've returned, and I feel like I don't understand what you guys are doing. And I feel like I should. And I feel like I'm too childish sometimes, and I don't understand things when I know I should be understanding them. And I wonder if that's actually my fault, or if it's just because of who I am, because my family locked themselves away in the Carnagar woods. Because maybe they didn't understand, and I don't know if it's a me thing or what, because I'm a furbolg from that tribe. So I don't know if and maybe I should be alone, and I can't even go into the woods anymore. And he just cries. I'm crying now, and I'm so sad for him.
It'll give him a big hug. And maybe stand up to do it, because otherwise she's halfway down him.
I want to be awake and hugging Fig, but I don't know if you're going to allow that in the fiction.
I mean, he's just probably crying now.
Listen, Emlyn's got super, super listening for upset
super parent
noises.
Yeah.
They're awake. They're hugging just Fig's leg, I guess, wherever they can reach.
What use is a druid that's afraid of the forest?
It's not the forest that you're afraid of, it's the dryad that took you. And I'm not going to let her touch you. She's made of wood and I'm made of fire.
But I don't even... It's weird, she hurt me so much and took me from my family, but I don't want her to be hurt.
Well, then you're a bigger person than I am, but still. All the things that you're struggling with now, it's not your fault, it's her fault. And you shouldn't be angry with yourself if you don't understand something, because you're not psychic. You can't just suddenly know things without having lived here and experienced it. But you're here now, and you're learning things as you go. And I don't know how, but I'm sure we will solve your problem with the forests. And
I'm sorry.
you don't have to be sorry.
I'm just sorry I'm being difficult.
You're not big. Actually, pat his head.
I don't want to hold you guys back.
You're definitely not holding me back. There's nothing to be sorry for.
I'm sorry I woke you up as well.
You can't be sorry about that. You're here helping us all the time.
I don't feel very helpful.
You are.
Well, you are.
He's just gonna curl up. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize for anything, Fig. I know it's difficult for everybody at the moment. It's a lot to take in. But we're all together. We look after each other.
I do love you guys very much. Thank you. Thank you for talking to me.
We love you too.
And being my friends.
Stroke Fig's hair.
It's very brittle.
I go for it anyway. I think maybe Emlyn is really surprised that this is how Fig feels. Because Emlyn is like absolutely useless. And has only ever seen Fig as like, you know, just the best person with the best attitude to the situation all the time.
I am very emotional. I'm very tired, so it's like making it worse. Say you're fucking crying.
D&D.
We go to Niflheim and we realise the guy has been knitting scarves the whole time, and I just burst into tears.
The home of knitting.
Oh shit! Oh, it's all coming together. Excuse me, I'm just gonna leap up to my like enormous like board of red string.
Okay.
It's also difficult because I wanna immediately fix the situation with Fig's family. Just wanna fix it. Slam dunk, huge band-aid, but that's not, you know,
is Emlyn
how it
one of
works.
those people who sees a problem like that and immediately wants to fix it, like no matter what? Like a parent thing is like, oh, this person like pushed me over, and you're like, well,
Yeah,
we're going to go solve it right
so.
now. Or even like a smaller thing like, oh, I'm a bit hungry. They're like, we're going to the shops to get food.
It's happening. I've already got a sandwich. It's in your hand. Yeah, I think that's difficult. Like their kid is still very young, and so having like a big complicated problem. It's not as simple as like, oh, well, we need to get this person out the way, or like we need to go march over to the house and get them to apologize. Yeah.
You just have to go into the woods and confront very scary dryad.
If it would help, Emlyn would try.
So, oi, you. Stop that.
Listen here. They just go out into the forest now. Have a stern word with it. Just in case.
She just comes out like, oh, okay.
I'll stop stalking Fig, I guess.
I like that Vader is there being like, you know, she's made of wood and I'm made of fire, and Emlyn is just like yelling, hey!
You made my friend sad!
Yeah.
I just like the idea of Vader saying that, Emlyn just waking up going, yo! That's a good line.
I did my best not to interrupt the mood by that's my natural Harry reaction.
Amazing.
Yeah, if Fig's like going back to sleep or anything, Vader'll sit next to him and just like stroke his hair while she's on watch.
Stroke his ears, they're very soft.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll probably just like curl up and go to sleep.
He's doing that thing where you like sniff and you go, and just like crying.
Yeah.
Or, like sleeping.
Yeah.
Emlyn's trying to stroke his hair and like rub his back, but something sticky.
It's jam. Covered in jam.
So now Emlyn is like doing a combo of like, stroking his back, but also like cleaning this jam stain off, but in a loving way.
Emlyn's just like, how did it even get there?
Just in his back pocket, there's just like a jam sandwich.
Oh no!
Emlyn replaces it with a new fresh jam
And
sandwich.
he rolls over and just goes.
It's wrapped in foil this time. So.
Are they just like stroking him while he sleeps like a cat?
Yes.
I was gonna say like while he falls asleep.
It's just like both peg and just like, oh.
Yeah, but once he's like fallen asleep enough, Emlyn is also just like, you know, just making sure, cleaning up a little bit in a comforting way.
Okay.
Oh, I've got such a headache now. All my moisture has gone from my body.
Quick, have a drink of water.
So, after the first night of emotional turmoil, I guess, you wake up, you can pack up your things.
Fig's eyes are all like swollen.
Yeah. I feel like Veda and Emlyn more now just look angrily at the forest.
Veda's just like maybe like striding along or looking confident, and Emlyn's like probably just like giving the forest the stink eye in a way that's like helpful to no one.
Fig just kind of has his head down.
Yeah, I think Agatha is just not paying attention to any of this.
Agatha's in battle
fair.
mode already.
Mm.
Yeah. Emlyn tries to make conversation with Fig, but it's like trying to ask like what Fig's favourite rocks are. Or like, what's your favourite shape of cloud? Really trying to get into Fig's headspace. Maybe not successfully, I don't know.
He brings out one of his rocks. He's got loads of rocks. Brings out one of them, and it's got a little scratched and smiley face. And he's like, "This is my favorite. His name is Albert, but don't tell the other ones." I've had him the longest.
And what's he like?
He's just like smoother on the bottom, and it's nice to hold. It's just a nice shape.
Oh, I thought maybe you were going to talk about his personality, but that's also that's very interesting.
Well, he's just comforting, you know.
Are figs
Yeah,
like...
I completely understand.
Are figs rocks like fey rocks? Did he bring?
Yeah,
them
they're from the
Feywild?
Feywilds. Yeah.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Are they just rocks?
I feel like they
Or
glitter
have
a
they got
bit.
faces on. Okay. Do you know what I mean though? Have they got little chalk faces? Or are
They're
they just rocks?
etched in, so it looks like he's
Okay,
got
okay.
a sharper rock and scratched in the face.
Oh, that's pretty good. When you hit level 20, your rock friends just, again, rotate in a circle around you. Like,
Yeah, just throw them at people.
incredibly just constantly growing moss where you're walking, like that in Princess Mononoke.
Yeah. He's like, "This is my favorite one." And then my favorite cloud shape is anyone that looks like an animal. Like, you know, when it's like it looks like a bunny. I've seen one that looked like a crocodile once.
Mm-hmm. When was that?
Are there clouds in the Feywilds?
Yeah.
Well, it's in the Feywilds at some point.
Are the clouds different there?
They've got like a pinky hue, but that's because it's always dusk there, so the light never changes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just like, his eyes kind of go slow. He's like, "Now I always worry when it goes to dusk that it would stay that way."
Okay.
But other than that,
Emlyn
it's
is-
fine.
Emlyn keeps talking but tries to like keep the conversation on like, what's your favorite berry? How happy do you think like that fox that just crossed our path looked? Really just trying to keep it abstract.
Yeah.
Favorite berries,
Yeah, I don't know if
blackberry.
it's helpful,
The
but-
fox is going places. He's got big dreams.
Okay. But maybe just like that for the whole couple of days, Emlyn is trying to keep up conversation.
Just like, if he starts going to like Feywild chat, they're just like, "Oh no, don't do that."
yeah. Just trying to keep it on course.
Okay.
You know, Emlyn knows how to talk to 3-year-olds, so
Generally the same thing.
no. But I feel like that's the conversation they're trying to keep it to.
Yeah.
Because that's where Emlyn is on steady ground.
This is for
No.
Emlyn, not Fig.
yeah.
That's how Emlyn can deal with it.
No Feywild or war chat here.
Imagine if Fig had these stones that he like chipped into, and in their like smiles is just like quartz. He's just found like quartz stones and just doesn't think there's anything special about them. It's just a rock that he likes to hold.
These very, very rare,
Believe
like,
it.
Feywild diamonds or something.
Canon now, yeah. Oh, that'll introduce like an entire new dynamic. What if Emlyn notices how valuable they are?
They're
The
valuable to
ultimate
him.
test.
They're his best friends.
The ultimate test.
The ultimate heist. Heist your friends.
We haven't heisted Agatha yet.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
She's the
Oh
the
fuck.
book.
Oh shit! Yeah, she does, doesn't she?
Mhm.
Man, I can't tell whether doing that would just like ruin what we're doing.
Potentially.
Oh wait, there's Sandy.
Yeah.
Would that like mess everything up? I mean, in terms of storytelling, or for you, is that like ooh an exciting opportunity?
I mean, there's always narrative to be told one way or the other.
Man, I think I might roll for it.
While we're camping one night. Emlyn's on
Yeah,
watch.
but if this is
Emlyn's
the last-
stealing.
If this is the last night before we get to Niflheim, then like.
Yeah, sure. If
Oh boy.
we'll say that
I just feel like
the last
I feel
evening
like
that you feel like you're approaching Niflheim, you start seeing more farmsteads and people.
I feel like we've already got our own like narrative stuff going on, so I don't want to like throw a spanner in the works. But maybe it would be fun.
I feel like Emlyn's
Just love
good at
drama.
throwing spanners.
Mm.
That's just, you know, when you like in narratives, you just need conflict, and so that's just thinking about creating conflict all the time. Oh man.
You just see one evening Agatha's bag just sitting there, and you know that inside lies the Book of Creation.
I wonder if they would only do it if they had a bit of a like something happened that like motivated them to do it. You know, they need like an incident that happens. Like they need to be like have another horrible dream about the debt and be like, oh god, I haven't sent a lot of like money home, and like now I've also got this other thing, and that makes them do it. As like players, is your opinion? Not you, Sandy. I don't want to hear from you. You want like more opportunity to do whatever you want. No. You guys. Are you like pro or anti? Because if you're anti, then I just like won't
I
do
say
it. 'Cause I
do
feel
what
like Emily's
Emlyn
arc
would
has
do.
been-
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is I feel like their arc has been like positive.
But they're in
But, you know, maybe
major
they're not there
debt, and
yet.
also it'd be quite funny to see what happens.
Holly.
Yeah. Just whatever Emlyn would do it. I don't know. Cool with it.
God.
Well, whatever happens, we'll deal with it. It's fine.
Yeah,
God, I think
we'll
it's
kill
so
Agatha
touching.
if we have to.
Oh no.
Let's see. What spells do I have?
Oh my god.
I'll just make
No,
it look
I
like
feel
you
like-
died when you grabbed the book. And then she'll be like tricked again with feigned death.
Then she realizes.
She's like, Uncle Giff wasn't
She
real!
Oh my god, she realizes the whole thing. That would be intense.
That would be so
Okay.
intense.
I know that I should have just done it instead of discussed what was going to happen next, but I didn't want to do something that like made the story worse for everyone else who was like, we've already got our own stuff to deal with.
Fuck it, go for it.
Yeah, do it, it'd be fun.
Yeah, why not?
Sandy, I mean, if you want to roll for whether or not I get a horrible premonition with the librarian haunting my dreams, which spurs me into potential action, you can do it.
I think Emlyn has enough stress anyway. Emlyn can... You don't need a premonition. Emlyn is riddled with
To be stressed.
stresses and is constant. Like even back in Wickmore, you were stressing out about books, so you had to take a lot of books. But you might think that this book might solve your debt. This might
That's
be
a
the
great
one
point.
book that...
It's a very rare book.
Yeah, maybe it's
That's
just
a
like
great
looking
point.
at you. Like you can see
Well,
it
now I've
peeking
talked about it
out.
for so long. Yeah, okay. So at least Emlyn is gonna, if Agatha is sleeping, Emlyn is just gonna like just test it out.
Mhm.
You know, like you would for a heist. They're just gonna see if they can get up close to Agatha and like pick up something that's like nearby on the ground and see if she like wakes up. Just to see.
Sure, make a stealth check.
Ooh.
It's a 30.
She does not.
So maybe Emlyn's gonna be a bit overconfident.
Yeah. Doesn't even move.
All right. I don't think Emlyn makes the move yet because at the moment there's only 3. If Agatha notices the book is gone, there's only 3 people it could be.
And there's only
But
one
they can-
person it probably is.
Listen, that's a what's it called when you like sue someone for like libel or something?
Yeah.
That's an unfounded claim, and until you can prove it, Emlyn's not going to accept that. Yeah, so they're just going to keep that in mind, I think,
Okay.
as we're about to go somewhere that has more people and potentially part ways.
Sure. So, with that, thoughts riddling Emlyn's mind, that you're very stealthy and Agatha is apparently not that perceptive.
Agatha's pretty old.
That was like almost the best roll I could have rolled though. Like 30 is like almost the
Yeah.
best. So I like the idea that Emlyn is maybe a bit overconfident now, and they're like, I could steal whatever.
I could steal you if I wanted to.
This could cause some problems. Well, okay, I'm just gonna file it away. Think about that, thank you.
Okay. So, heading towards Niflheim, you come out top of a hill where the woodlands have been replaced by farmland. You get your first view of Niflheim. A simple but serene looking town surrounded by stone walls with a good few outer farmsteads nearby. The winter sun shines like a beacon down through the grey clouds, illuminating the city almost as a promise of spring, the time of rebirth and of better times. The river shines like flowing metal that weaves through the town. Heading down the road towards the town, you see a small group of red swords riding on horseback. The red swords being the personal force under the Baron in Windstata, and they are in talks with the local guard at a stone tower that looks over the farmland and acts as a guard post.
But we noticed that, right?
Yes.
Fig,
Okay,
maybe
cool.
you should be a squirrel.
Yep. He just turns into a squirrel and hops into Veda's hair. Maybe a red squirrel so he like blends in.
Veda, can you be someone else as well?
I don't need to be. We were disguised when we were in Winstad.
Oh, right, you were disguised. Great.
So were you?
I was in a different outfit.
You had a blonde wig on
Oh,
and a
yeah.
lot of makeup. You looked very different.
I didn't draw that. Yeah, okay, cool. Emlyn tries to do whatever the opposite of that is.
Okay.
Tries to do their hair the opposite of the wig.
So are you just approaching as normal, casual?
Maybe we should like
Is there only one
wander
entrance?
off
Yeah.
away from them. Like I don't really want to act like too shifty, but also I don't want to walk like right up to a bunch of guards.
Well, maybe I could go and see if there's any other entrances or weak points or gaps that mean we might maybe be able to get in somewhere where people haven't seen us.
Is there like a wall around the town?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was
Or is it-
assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Is it a big stone wall?
Yeah. So this what you're looking at now is a stone watchtower that's a bit outside, and it's like the one that would be a little guard post outside the city, where it looks over the farmland. It's a good distance away from the city itself.
Right. So we can avoid the guard
Yeah.
tower then. Okay, let's do that then.
Veda, maybe you should just be in a different disguise anyway. I mean,
Okay.
because what if something happens here, and then your regular face is the one you've got to hide all the time?
Sure. I don't want to hide my face too much. Vidal cast disguise self and make yourself look like a human.
I mean,
Just-
you don't have to. I just think Emma is paranoid.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything
I think-
about themselves, really.
I mean,
so-
it won't hurt to not be out and about. Yeah, you should just make yourself look like a nondescript human
Sure.
again.
Like even
Just
with your pet
Kinda
squirrel.
plain looking. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm a druid. Make yourself look like a little druidy human.
Okay.
Got my little friend squirrel. Got some like kind of tangly brown hair. Looks like I've not brushed it for quite a while.
You're like a human fig.
Yep. Human female fig.
Okay. So yeah, you head away from the main road that would lead you directly into town, and you go some of the back roads of where the farmsteads are, and go in between people's farmland. Basically, you see the horses, the red swords on the back, speaking to the guards as they eventually ride off around the city, not going through it, as you approach closer to the town, avoiding the watchtower altogether.
Is there a bunch of guards at the gate or anything?
There's probably 4 guards at the gate. The gate is open. You see carts and people coming and going now. It's a pretty busy town. Everyone make a perception check.
Even me?
Oh, no.
Yes, yours.
Do I take the squirrel's perception or mine? Is it mine?
Yours.
Mine.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really bad. 10.
13.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
Ah, got a 3. Emlyn's busy trying to like sneak in behind a car.
Sure.
You don't see shit.
So, Veda, heading into town, you notice on the left wall, plastered on, is a bounty.
Fun. Is it got really bad drawings of us?
It's actually a pretty good drawing. It says, for the beast of Winstata, 5,000 gold. A figure that looks like Fig, except he has big tusks, a large scar across his entire nose, as well as a scar down his eye that leaves it closed and blind. And his hair is absolutely wild. He looks very vicious.
Is it just Fig, or have they drawn what Emlyn and Veda looked like too?
Nope, just Fig.
What about Agatha?
Just Fig. A very demonic looking Fig. And being marked the beast of Winstata.
That could have been
Does
worse.
it say anything else on the poster? Just this is like a ransom. Has it got any more information?
It has a report to Winstata if the beast is seen. he's wanted dead.
Oh.
Emlyn, there's like, you can see like cogs like ticking. Oh, I guess I haven't seen it yet. Do you point it out to us?
Yeah, she'll just walk over and like look at the notice board and then kind of like elbow Emlyn and be like,
Does it have like
So-
things like spots or anything? Does it look?
No, it
No?
doesn't have these spots. It's shaded just to be like brown.
Okay.
Veda's looking at it and she's like, I don't think that looks very much like
Yeah. Now, that is a lot of gold pieces. I mean, is there any way we could...
Emlyn,
I mean,
don't.
I turned myself in for 5,000 gold pieces.
Just grab the squirrel.
Magic, but... yeah.
Veda will pick up little squirrel fig and move him to the shoulder away from Emlyn.
I wasn't saying we should do... I just thought we could do some kind of trick or...
I don't think we should involve ourselves in it.
I mean, neither do I. I'm just thinking about options when we see this kind of thing. Gotta be a
Okay.
step ahead of the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still looking at the squirrel.
Just big money bags now.
Fig like cocks his head. He does not see the resemblance at all.
Okay.
Well, good.
We'll head to the inn.
Okay.
Veda's keeping an eye on Emlyn.
Passing.
They wouldn't actually, probably.
Slave hand the
They just
squirrel.
They want to find like a different furball that we could like make up, you know?
Just murder a random furball.
They care a lot about Fig, but they also really need this money, so they absolutely wouldn't turn
Why
Fig
don't
in, but
we-
if another opportunity arises...
What if we bring back Uncle Gif? And do...
It
We can't
worked
talk about-
once.
Oh my god.
It did work
And
one
we could
time.
just do feign death again and get the money.
Yeah. Exactly.
Perfect.
It's good that Vader is
If you're-
here, so
if
that
you-
it's not
if-
just the two of us making this plan and carrying it out.
Yeah.
Also, like, are you talking about
No.
that out loud because Agatha's right here?
I'm not
Still a
using my
squirrel.
character
He cannot
voice.
speak.
I'm
He's
like,
just squeaking.
I feel like I'm a combo. I guess so. Emlyn is a combo of like nervous that Agatha is going to find out, and then is also like, but if Agatha found out, perhaps she'd be our enemy. So fair game.
I feel like-
So steal it.
I feel like I'm just...
I can rob her as
I'm
much
just
as I
like
want.
the devil squirrel on Emlyn's shoulder, just like, yeah, we could do it again, yeah.
And Vader is just there, but like actually, just in real life, being like, Emlyn, no.
No.
Stop it.
So,
Enough schemes.
passing through the city gates, you are met with a sweet open market selling various metalworks and jewellery, as well as the regular general goods stores. You hear the passing of a river through the city as it intersects the market. People gather under barren trees along the shore to discuss the day. It has been a good while since you've seen a relaxing, functioning city. From your first glance, you see a couple of taverns, and you see the Hammer's Touch, a tavern that has been converted from an old forge, where the blacksmith would stand outside at the forge, is now an outside sitting area and a bar that links to a bar on the inside as well.
Fucking hipster.
And you see,
I'm just kidding. That sounds very cool.
it's very hipster.
I'm a hipster.
You see sitting at a table, playfully laughing with each other, having a morning drink, Alexander and Devois.
Aww.
They're so married.
They're on their honeymoon.
See, we deliberately waited a month to just give them some time.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's so nice. Are they like... Is he like one of them like laughs and puts their hand on the other one's hand on the table and there's like
Absolutely.
oh my god, I love it.
I really appreciate, Sandy, your willingness to like go along when we're like, oh, could this happen? And you're like, fuck it. I guess so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Veda's just thinking Devois could do better.
Emlyn like doesn't really notice that they're having a nice moment and just completely interrupts.
She's like, hey guys!
Yeah, so as you approach, Devois stands up like abruptly, like he's just been caught doing something naughty. Oh, hello.
Oh my god, don't make them cute. Don't make me like them.
Devar like stands up and says, "Well, it's about time you got here." Alexander just says, "Yes, well,
Yeah, sorry we kept you waiting so long.
it's fine. We've had some nice times here in Niflheim."
It must have been terrible waiting for us this whole time. Just the two of you for company.
They just glance at each other.
Emlyn has been completely serious. They're like, "Fuck, I'm so sorry."
Did they get like hitched or something? Got married by a Niflheim Elvis?
A Niflheim Elvis.
Yeah, you haven't really described Niflheim, so I guess we're all
Niflheim's
imagining it as Vegas now.
Okay. It's like a simple town. There's no like massive landmark. It's it's quite serene, pretty basic town, very similar to Lilion in its architecture.
Does Veda still look like a human druid, or is that worn
It's
off
up to
now?
you.
By the time, I just wondering how long it would have taken us to.
Not very long. It's
Okay.
probably like 10 minutes.
I guess she is then, because she doesn't want to just drop it in the middle of the street. So.
Okay. Yeah, Devar says, "Well, I guess, do you want some food now, or we can head straight there?"
Is he talking to Alexander or
Yeah.
us?
You guys.
Okay.
Where are we going straight to? Is that a place that also has food, or?
Not as nice food.
Yeah, it's okay. We've been camping for a couple of days, so maybe
Maybe we could stop
a
for a
decent
little
meal
bit.
would be good.
Yes.
I think I will go use the bathroom, and she'll go to the loo and
Is
then drop the spell and come
was
back out.
Fig still on her shoulder while she went to the bathroom?
Yeah, she was.
No, I know, but I was meaning he was going to turn into him as
She
well.
wasn't going for a pee
She's
with
like, "Oh
Fig
yeah,
on her
you're
shoulder."
here." No, as in
Oh,
so he can turn into Fig as well. Because he's like, "I ain't eating a tiny little meal for a squirrel." Like a
Maybe
fool.
we should have actually gone on to the next place.
Fig and Veda just burst out the bathroom. It's too small for both of them now. It's like, sorry. Oh,
I mean, he could just not come into the same stall as her.
well, I just imagine it's one room because I don't know if there'd be stalls.
Just like a
just like a
outhouse.
teeny little house, and then you just burst forward, the door just froze off.
Emlyn is just eating,
Don't
but when you
break
come
anything.
back, they're just like, "Well, is that really the?" Oh, never mind.
Emlyn is surrounded by Agatha, Alexander, and Devoir, which is a very funny view for me.
They're just eating and chatting, but maybe everyone else is pretty uncomfortable.
As you guys come back to the table,
Are we
ordering
having
some.
Are we having food then? I'm here now as well.
Just like,
He's like, you
Oh.
said food I wanted. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I mean, if we can, maybe Emlyn just bought all the food, a bunch of food, and brought it to the table.
There's meats, chickens, morning meals, muffins, bacon, eggs, all sorts of things that you.
They also
Delightful.
brought over some they brought some weird shit from the condiments table in case Fig wants it, loads of mayo,
Yeah, he makes something quite
Salad cream.
questionable.
sriracha, yeah.
just having food and Veda's just so how have you been?
We've been fine, mostly waiting, listening, hearing
each other.
tales of terrible things happening in Roten and Winstatter.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander speaks up and says, "Yes, well, it sounds like a beast has been there and killed one of the captain of the guards."
We saw the picture of the beast. It looks really scary.
It's very unfortunate.
Emlyn is eating that gif of Raven chewing gum with their eyes darting from side to side, extremely wide, but just fully still eating.
I've also heard that lots of people have left and caravans had been seen heading south.
Maybe they're scared of the beast. That definitely makes sense.
Yes.
I would be. I'm glad we got out of there when we did.
Veda just like face palms.
Ellen is like drinking a huge mug of tea and just like not making eye contact.
Just like
Fig's just like calmly eating his most disgusting sandwich.
It seems you've gained a new friend and lost another.
Yes, this is Agatha.
She nods her head. And what of your friend, Malara?
She is in Zundaria.
I see. So no ill tidings have fall upon her. It is good to hear. So what news do you bring from Zundaria? Anything?
No, we just had a very quiet time. It was just nothing really happened.
Flashbacks to books and heists and...
Wait, does Vader know
No?
about the library heist?
nope.
No.
not
We
told.
just came back one night.
Yeah,
Yep.
she knows that you're like sneaking around doing something, but she doesn't know you heisted the library.
Okay, so I guess Emlyn is saying
She
that.
doesn't know you've got library fees.
Yeah. Emlyn is even more tense.
Well, you've always been to the point, I would say. Well, we'll have breakfast and we will head towards our destination.
I think maybe Emlyn isn't that clever, and at some point, Too Many Layers of Secrets is just gonna... They'll just be openly talking to Agatha about the like fake battle. You know, the fake battle. And then they'll be like, oh no, oh wait, hold on.
Uncle Gift was such a stupid name. I can't believe
Yeah.
anyone fell for that.
So yeah, I can't believe Malara fell for that. I mean, who? Wait.
Yeah, I hope there's no alcohol where we're going, don't worry about it.
As you have a morning brunch with Devois and
The
Alexander.
newlyweds.
The newlyweds. Sure.
I feel like maybe when they bring up Malara, Emlyn is looking at them like, God, so insensitive. Can't they tell? Can they not tell there's like a romantic thing going on there? Ugh, some people are the worst. Kicks Alexander under the table.
Yeah, that's why he's like, that's a shame. As breakfast
I
is
also
had,
like the
yeah.
idea that maybe they think that Agatha is just Vader's new girlfriend.
She's like 70.
Yeah, but like it's ambiguous. The way they phrased it was like, "Oh, you've lost one companion and gained another." Well, I'm not one to judge. Moving on.
Don't
I
be
don't think
ageist, Sandu.
Agatha's not the type of person that looks like she wants anything to do with anyone. So
Exactly, so that's why you wouldn't know if she was in a relationship. In fact, maybe when they say that, they phrase it in such a way that Emlyn is like, oh, maybe there's something going on there. Emlyn's wisdom is 0, and I really like the idea that they think they're really picking up on stuff that's not there, and the stuff that's very obviously there, they're like, God, I get these guys hate each other, I guess. They seemed so uncomfortable when we came over.
Then Fig's just over here just like, oh, I'm so happy for them. Can't believe you just got married. How exciting.
Yeah, because Fig's wisdom is so good.
It's right.
Fig knows exactly what's going on. And Emlyn, thinks they know what's going on, and they do not.
as your morning breakfast is had, having a little bit of a catch up, but lot of vague speaks of like, yes, we did this, it was fun.
No one wants to talk about it too, obviously.
Emlyn spends a long time talking about the restaurant that we went to, the fish and chips that we got.
Oh, yeah, the fish and chips.
The
They were so
Navarian
good.
cuisine. Oh, it's such a good curry. And really just fixates on that and manages to make that fill 20 minutes while everyone else is chewing.
Also, just the chat of it just excites Fig, which makes it last even longer.
Yeah. The perfect cover.
Uh-huh.
So as far as they know, we've just been in a lot of restaurants for a month.
Just having a restaurant.
Start a food blog.
Yeah.
That's really just not implausible, so...
From what he knows of you, yeah, it's not really implausible.
Do you want us to roll deception? To see if they know?
Well, you're not lying. You're just...
Yeah.
Not telling the whole truth.
No, alright.
They clearly know. They clearly know we've been up to some shit.
I'd just be interested I think I'm always interested in those roles, whether if they completely fail, so it can be canonically like, yeah, they know, they know that was you, they know the beast was you, they know.
I mean,
no, if you think it's gone under the radar,
yeah.
or they like kind of know, but it's fine.
I think they've heard of what's been happening, whether that's you or not. But Alexander has had very intense dealings with Veda, and another captain of the guard surprisingly dead in the next big town you go to.
Yeah, okay.
Is that very unlike Veda?
Vader's just been glaring at him this whole time, and he's just been like, uh-oh.
And Emlyn's like, wow, that curry was so good, while Alexander's just like sweating, like, okay, I see what's happening here.
Insight check Fig, and he genuinely believes that he is not the beast, and he's quite scared of it.
Yeah.
Aw.
It's like scary, right?
Baby, yeah.
Vada'd be really good at giving death stares if she
Oh
wanted
yeah.
to.
It's those like just like coloured irises and then black eyes.
Yeah.
Intimidating.
And then they like the hair
like-
flaring up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I want Emlyn to start off being like, oh, the beast sounds terrible, just awful, and then realising that Fig is genuinely scared of the beast, like pivots into being like genuinely trying to comfort him.
Oh, he's just like, oh yeah, that sounds like super scary. Like, oh, he had like crazy hair and stuff like that, and big tusks. Like, I wonder what it is. Do you think it's like an angry boar or something? Just like, or like a half boar person?
That's probably it. That must be it. Yes.
Must be it.
Just silence at the rest of the table.
Devar just like puts his hand on his face.
It's you idiot!
Jew!
You are the beast.
How irritating do we have to be for them to burst out of character? Like,
Well, not in public. Maybe when you go to the place. So as you have
Someone's
food,
like, figure the beast. He's just like, wow.
wow.
Wow. At me?
As you have food, have catch-up discussions. Devoir takes care of his bill.
How big is it?
It's like a journal. It's a whole book. Just like signing thousands of receipts. You know.
Also, does he have any new knitted items upon his person? Like he's putting like a new scarf as he leaves or anything?
He doesn't have any new scarves.
That suggests that he has a hat then.
Of course it does. Yeah. Of course he has. It's cold. It's winter. Of course he's gonna wear it.
He's gonna have a hat. Do they have matching ones?
I think as he's like inside and you guys are waiting outside, you see like Alexander putting on his hat from like behind, and they like jokingly laugh as he like pulls it down further.
oh my god. I think if they're embarrassed to be seen in public, maybe they're not wearing matching outfits.
And then
They just try to remain professional in front of us.
Yeah.
as like he turns around and like puts on his coat a bit better, like tidies him up a little bit.
I'm crying.
I love them.
It is so salty.
I love them, but like maybe we're gonna have to kill them.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? Emma's keeping their options open.
I mean, he did try kill
Emma's
us,
just
but
like-
then he did apologize.
Emlyn sees, but like thinks that they, you know, it's just another sign of how uncomfortable they are with each other. So critical of this other person that he's like, ugh, his buttons aren't done up right. I'm gonna fix it.
Gives him a peck on the cheek and he's like, that was an attack. That was...
Yeah, like, I wonder if he was whispering something threatening.
As they like come outside, as I feel like you're all like peering through the window at them,
just glaring at them.
as he says, "Well, the town is not where we are based, just outside in one of the old farmsteads."
Oh my god. Can I insight? Are they going to lead us to another hole where they're going to burn us alive again?
You can make an insight check.
I'm going to make an insight check, yeah. I'm not going to get thrown off by your gentle kisses. It's like 22.
He seems to be telling the truth. He's not lying. Devoir's not the liar. Alexander's the liar. And they've talked about this for the past month. They've sought therapy and they've really talked about it. Like, going through lots of stuff. They're grown as individuals, as well as together.
Okay.
I like the idea that Alexander is just going to be like a really, really nice person, and Vader is still going to be like, can't fucking trust that man. At any moment, he could turn on us.
I mean, he did.
He sure did.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally shot fireballs at you and exploded an entire
Yeah.
room. So
I'm used to it. Maybe a
Veda
lot of people.
she doesn't trust Alexander, and she also thinks he's a weenie.
that's also
He is a weenie.
I think
He's a weenie.
Emlyn doesn't trust Alexander, but Emlyn doesn't trust anyone, so it really just puts Alexander on the same footing as like basically anyone that's not you two. Right? Oh well, he tried to kill us, but like a lot of people have tried to kill Emlyn. So what's that saying, really?
Leaving out the northern gates where you came in the south, you get a better view of the city. A couple of other markets, but there seems to be a lot of metalworks and jewelry made in this town, due to the close by hills and mountains. Mining seems to be one of the main trades here. Heading out up the road a little bit, you pass a couple of more guard towers, with more of these plastered "Beware the Beast" of Winstata. As you come to a...
Do they like when Fig walks past? Does anyone react?
No.
Or think? Okay, yeah, no one. Okay, yeah. Fair. It's a very not like Fig drawing.
As you come to a pretty run-down looking house, a couple of broken fences, a chair that's like smashed on the porch. As they lead you inside, you see a person just sitting around a fireplace, looking an older elven gentleman. Looks at everyone coming in and says, "He's been waiting." "Yeah, sorry it's taking so long." And he moves aside a carpet on the floor, or a rug that's very worn down, opens up a hatch. Alexander says, "Well, I'll go first since it's probably for the best."
I'm so tense.
He kind of like weirdly smirks a little bit, like, "Yeah, I understand that you might not trust me going first anymore." As he heads down.
Funny joke, Alexander. Really funny. Should have done that in character voice. I think that's in character.
He's like, "Yeah, sorry." As he heads down, as everyone starts funneling in, with Agatha going in last.
Is
As
she
you head
invited down as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems that you weren't the only ones waiting.
Have other people been waiting months as well?
Yeah, that whole inn is just like full of like people waiting.
They're like, "Oh, finally!" Ugh, and everyone just like gets out.
It's like people at the airport holding the signs, you know.
Yeah.
They've been waiting there for like months though.
Signs on the floor. Empty coffee cups everywhere.
As you head down the stairs or the ladder, you come to a stone hallway that descends deeper into the ground. You immediately hear people speaking, a liveliness from down this way. And Alexander turns and says, "This may not be what you think it is. The Obsidian Prince holds court in a very different demeanor." As he heads down the stairs, as you are opened up into a pit in the ground, surrounded by seats above it, with a cage holding two people inside of it. They're all yelling, ale is being thrown around, and it seems to be some sort of fight pit.
Oh, I thought they were like go-go dancers, but okay.
It's a very different bar. That's the other one that Dev and Alexander go to.
It's a double bachelor party.
Aw.
They didn't actually have one before they got married.
Everyone's like, "Surprise!" They just wanted
They've
us
got
to
their hands
be
over their hearts. Oh my god, you guys.
So appreciated in the workplace.
It's nothing business, it's all personal.
I'm I'm very tense. Emlyn's very tense, just want to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Emlyn hearing that about them holding court is just whispering, just constantly being like, different demeanor from what we're used to. What? Different from what? What's the... Oh, God.
As Alexander points down and says, in the pit you will find the Obsidian Prince. He seems to be fighting Jacob at the minute. As you see this large minotaur with a battle axe swinging towards a black-skinned tiefling person, standing roughly 6 foot tall, his horns pointing straight up with a slight curve. He wears nothing but trousers and boots, his body covered in lots of nasty-looking battle scars. As he expertly dips and dives and dodges out of the way of this battle axe, as only with his fist he attacks this minotaur and quickly jumps onto his back, grabs the minotaur's horns, twists it round and throws him to the floor. The crowd cheers and the minotaur stays on his knees laughing, spits out a bit of blood. He says, one day I'll get you. The Obsidian Prince says, well, today is not that day.
He's hot.
It's an edgy boy.
What's he look like? What's the what? Who's in the cages? What does the prince look like?
The prince is very handsome looking black tiefling.
Nice.
As you head down into it, the cage opens up, the minotaur exits, and Alexander and Deborah says, we have some guests who you've been waiting on. He says, well, bring them in. As he beckons you all inside.
Sorry, was the fighting in the cage?
Yes.
Okay, that makes way more sense. I thought they were just like fighting in a pit, and then there's also a cage of captives just somewhere.
No. The cage is...
They're cage
Yeah.
fighters.
Okay.
As also coming in from the other side is a very simple wooden throne that is brought in as he sits down, as he crosses his legs. His tail flicks out, and it has a love heart end to it, with a little chip out of his tail.
I love him.
And he says,
He is my vibe.
I've heard so many stories about you. I believe Vader, Emmeline, Fig, and Agatha, thank you for joining me finally. It's been a while. Yeah, been a while.
Oh my god, they've met before.
I assume your blood debt is all fulfilled now, yes? Thanks to these three, yes, it has been.
Is he reading our minds?
Well, great.
Maybe he's just got spies everywhere, you know?
Yeah. Can I insight check him? Is he reading our minds?
Sure.
Or can Fig just go, hello?
In your mind?
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's pretty good.
No, he's not reading your mind. You don't feel any, presence or infiltration of your mind. He says, I know a lot about you all. Alexander has filled me in with a few bits and pieces, and since you gave him your identification cards, it helped me greatly in finding out a lot about you, and I do apologize for Alexander's rude interruptions and quick actions that resulted in potentially losing someone of your skills. And Alexander looks very sheepish and apologetic. And he kind of rubs his side slightly.
Oh, did he kick him?
He says he has been punished thoroughly.
Oh, no. Don't like him as much anymore.
Emma's just chuffed that they were mentioned as someone with any sort of skill.
Yeah, Fig is like, wow, you know me? I
They're
don't even
coming
know me.
around. Yeah.
Can you give me a printout? Where
Can I
did
see
you
these
find?
notes?
I have some use for people of your talents. From what I've heard of the Beast of Windstatter, that they are trying to cover up the captain's death as some sort of beast attack, so it doesn't start more people speaking about a revolution, and trying to cover it up by some scary beast that you must be protected in the walls by this baron. It infuriates me. You have done well so far, but it seems that they are quick in reaction and plans in place if revolution starts. But that will not stop us. As people start cheering and clapping. We need allies. We need people to defend us in the already established nobility, and from that I've gained some passes. The new year is upon us, and Grossenvig will hold a ball as they always do, and I need you three to seek allies there. Find out people's motives, how people feel, as well as there will be diplomats from Zisan and Nuveria. Maybe speak to some of them as well. I need to know the vibe of the nation.
Vibe check.
You want us
Yes.
to talk to diplomats at a ball?
Veda's
Yes.
like, yes!
Are you sure your information about who we are is good, or...
You will have different tasks. Although diplomacy might be suited to more Veda's taste, Emlyn, you are a sneaky type who is very good with concealing themselves. Perhaps you can listen into conversations you shouldn't be listening into.
So sorry. Fig puts up his hand and he's like, what would I supposed to do? I don't know how to be fancy.
You do not need to be fancy, my druid friend. He looks at you with almost a little smile. It's very strange.
He smiles back. He's like, hee.
I haven't met you before, and my memory is sometimes spotty. I feel like we've met. Or I know someone of your clan.
What?
Is that in character?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. It's just there's something so familiar about you. I can't put my finger on it.
Well, if you can, let me know, because I'm looking for them.
Looking for them.
Yep.
He seems to rack his brain, like he's trying to remember or reading through multiple histories that he's lived through. Your clan of the Carnagal Woods, correct?
Yeah, that's it. I think. From what we can tell, yes.
Well, if you have a chance on the way to Grossenvig, maybe stop by. I'm sure your family would be interested in hearing where you have been. If you don't know where they are. They might also be some good allies to have. I have some fondness of that clan. I can't recall why. Maybe reconvene with them.
Well, I can ask them if they know of you.
Oh, I'm quite hard to forget.
Okay.
This guy is terrible, I really like him.
Yeah, I feel like Veda's just like sizing him up this whole time.
See, this is exactly the kind of character I love playing, and I'm just like, oh, how I wish. But I'm playing soft boy.
We just pop back and Sandy is fake and the Obsidian Prince.
He says, have some time, get yourself associated with my group. They are a rambunctious bunch, but how strong are you? And he gets up off his seat. Alexander and DYS slowly back away.
Oh, he's
And-
gonna punch us. All three of us at once.
Emlyn is like frozen between being like very strong and being like not strong at all. They don't know how to get out of the danger.
He walks towards you slowly, swinging his tail in his hand, and disappears.
Ah.
And appears behind you. With a puff of smoke. Well,
Who's he behind?
Rapier, all of you. Seems druidic magic. She was bow, a bard, a paladin. Interesting. As you turn to face him, he disappears again and reappears in front of you. Well, shall we fight? And he gets into a bit of a battle stance.
What,
Show
right
me
now?
what you have. Yes.
Is this because we've done something wrong already?
You didn't even offer us a cup of tea.
He chuckles and he says,
We're going to be the best at getting into this tough class.
he says, tea will be after, of course. I need to know you can handle yourself. And he stretches out a little bit. I do awfully like a fight.
Well, if tea will be after, then
If there's a promise of tea, then I suppose.
And he seems to just sit and wait for you to do an action.
I would like to try and... Is there anywhere I can hide? Anywhere.
His throne is still in this room. You could hide behind his throne. You could hide behind Fig.
I thought that, but then I thought if we're just in the middle of the room, he's probably going to notice. That's
we,
good to know for later.
Are we like rolling initiative, or
No,
is he just waiting for us to do
He's
something?
just waiting for you to do something.
Can I pop my fungal jungle business?
Okay.
Thanks.
I want to go... Yeah, alright. I want to go 20 feet back on the other side from the others and shoot him.
I wish to shoot him.
I guess this is a test.
Yeah.
A criminal test.
Veda is going to cast slow on him.
Ooh.
So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save. 15.
Oh damn, he just made it.
As you begin to cast slow, he smirks slightly as you see him wincing as he focuses himself up again. Interesting. As Emlyn, you can take your shot.
Oh, fuck. Oh, wait. It's also 1 on the dice. I get to re-roll,
You
right?
do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just another one. I'm pretty sure I get to re-roll that as well.
Halflings.
Emlyn's like, this is fine. I'm doing it. Everything's fine.
Character.
They just like
shaking.
fucking fumble the first, like, 26 this time, the third time. I'm assuming that he was in melee with, do you know what I mean? He's within 5 feet of us if he just came up behind us.
Yeah, I would say so.
Cool. Is 26 hit?
Yes.
Cool. Then it's 10. But it's also sneak attack.
Go for it.
Is that 3d6? So 24 total.
Okay. As an arrow pierces through his abdomen, he looks down at it and looks up and says, "That's a very good shot."
I would like, if he's still facing the other way, then I would like to hide.
Sure.
With my bonus action.
Sure. Just roll stealth.
19.
So you hide away. Fig, what would you like to do?
Well, is he near me?
He's close by, yeah.
Let's see. I will... Does he seem like kind of tricky, like he might disappear and stuff? I don't
He's
know.
already bamfed around, so...
Okay,
What to
I
say?
am going to cast blindness, deafness, and try blind him.
Okay. So it's a con save.
Yes, has beat 16. Ha
14.
He is blinded!
Blinded. Okay.
And it's not a concentration spell.
Okay. So what does that look like when you blind him?
I think, like, Fig kind of puts his hand out to him and just mushrooms start growing over his eyes.
Okay.
Oh.
So at the end of each of its turns, it can.
Yeah, and then
Start
I'm
breathing.
gonna move out of that spot where I was so he doesn't know where I am.
Sure. He says, "Ha! Lot of utility with this group. I just like it." As Agatha will swing out with her sword. First attack with her long sword. 8 misses, and her second attack. 13 also misses. As she swings, even though he's blinded, he able to dodge pretty effectively. And he says, "Agatha, you're getting slow." As he is going to run up, even blinded, and run up to Veda. And he's going to attack. With just his fists. 23.
That hits.
8 bludgeoning damage as he just like punches you twice. And he has like different stances that he goes into and is almost very fluid with his fighting. And he says, it is just a little bit what I can do. And he will roll his Constitution save. 12.
Does
say-
he roll with disadvantage if he's blinded?
That's the strange thing.
Oh, that's a shame. He just has mushroom face.
It does. As he stands there now, Emlyn, Veda, Fig, what would you like to do?
Veda, do you want to go first?
Yeah. Is he standing right in front of Veda?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess she'll just whack him with her rapier.
Okay.
Bloop. Natural 20.
Nice.
I was just thinking Veda always rolls well with her rapier.
She went to classes.
Okay.
19 damage.
As he punches you, almost playfully, still hurting, you whip out your rapier and pierce it through his chest. And he says, "Ow." As you pull it
and
back out.
She'll give. Sorry.
Yeah, here you go.
She'll give bardic inspiration to Emma.
Okay.
I'm inspired just by watching you.
Yeah.
Okay. Emlyn,
I'm gonna just shoot.
go for it.
Gonna shoot. If I'm hidden,
Yes.
what does that mean?
You have advantage on it, so you will get sneak attack regardless.
Oh, fuck. It's an 11.
You do have bardic inspiration.
Oh yeah,
You got a D8.
I think I want to use that because that was bad.
So,
Is it D8?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, hold on. I'm doing it. I'm making it happen. It's a 2, so that's a 13.
unfortunately, that doesn't hit.
Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks.
As the arrow just flies by, although inspired by Veda, you were distracted by Veda.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Anything else you want to do?
No, I want to hide again.
Okay. Roll stealth.
It's 23.
Nice. Okay. Fig, what are you doing?
I am going to double hand my staff
Okay.
and give him a good whacking.
Okay.
Whack. Oh, that's a 9. That probably misses.
That does miss.
Well, I'll use my reaction to chuck some spores his way.
Okay. So as the spores like land on his
Ooh,
more
only 4.
mushroomic face,
Yeah.
he coughs up slightly. As you see him bleeding from his wound, coughing up, mushrooms all over his face, an arrow through him. Agatha is going to attack twice with her sword. An 11 and 13. Wow, she's rolling terribly.
We've got to get her a great sword again. The longsword clearly doesn't
Mhm.
agree with
Yeah.
her.
As she slices twice, he just dodges out of the way. Says, "Come on now." As you begin to see the wounds that you've caused begin to heal up, the arrow snap in half that was been through him as the wounds heal up, and he wipes the mushrooms from his face and like almost like disappears, and said, Now, that was good enough, I think. You've proven yourself. Agatha, I'm very disappointed in you.
A teacher scolding her.
But he says, "You way that you fight is all very different. I didn't think you'd be so impressive with a rapier. Your father must have taught you well." Vader.
You did.
Oh, your brother sends his regards.
Aurelian?
And that's where we will leave this session.
Emily's just still hiding.
You bastard.
So, that's where we will leave it for that session. Now with the Obsidian Prince in play, the fuckboy tiefling man.
Oh, I love him. I love a footboy tiefling man. It's my vice.
Thank you for listening to Draw Your Swords. You can follow Draw Your Swords at DYS Podcast. That's DYS Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And if you liked this episode, give the show a 5-star rating on iTunes or subscribe on YouTube. It really helps us out a lot. Thank you.